and welcome to day 4 of social isolation. Now I'm hoping that everybody is staying at a distance from each other, you are still getting some walks, and you are washing your hands. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk through division. We know that division is the opposite of multiplication, so we are sharing things rather than counting things up in groups. Now it is not as tricky as subtraction, I promise you. Formal subtraction. It's actually quite simple. So what we're going to do is take a little look and then we'll have a little quiz. Most of you I know right now are probably feeling like this, but hopefully you will be feeling a lot better after. So let's get started. So what we need to do is, the first thing we need to do is to set this out. Say we have our calculation. Remember, it's not a sum because it's not a total, it's a calculation. Say our calculation is 942 divided by 6. Now we might not be able to fully do this, so that is fine. We are going to trial it out. Okay, so the way that we lay this out is we start off by writing 6 because that is what we are dividing it by. And then we draw a little house around it here. And we write 942 under the roof of the house. Now, the only thing that you need to remember here is you need to remember your 6 times table. Okay, so we are remembering our 6 times table. Now we start off by looking at whether 6 goes into 9. Now 6 does go into 9. It goes into 9 once with a remainder of 3. Now watching this here, I'm going to show you where our remainder goes. Our remainder is in orange. So that means that it goes in 6 once with 3 lots of hundreds left over. So now we know that here is our tens column, so we have 34 tens, okay? The next thing we do is we look and we see if 6 goes into 34. Now we know that our 6 times table, 6 times 5 is 30, and 6 times 6 is 36. So we go for the lower one. So 6 times 5 is 30. So we pop in a 5 here. And then we have a remainder of 4 left over. You can see that I've got my remainder in there again. So 6 goes into 34 5 times with a remainder of 4. Now we go on to our last number here, 6 times 42. Now we know that that is 100% in the 6 times table. 6 times 7 is 42. And there we have our answer. So 942, I'm just going to highlight that here, 942 divided by 6 is 157. Okay, 157. Now, let's say that we are going to look at, now this is a times table that we all know, it is our 5 times table. Now let's see if 965 goes into 5. Now, if you remember when we talked about divisibility, you will remember that anything with the 5 at the end does go. So we already know that this will go in without remainder. So we step 1. We lay it out, okay? So we start here by saying we're dividing it by 5. So it goes outside the house. And inside the house, we have 965, okay? Then step 2, we start working through our answers. So how many times does 5 go into 9? Well, it goes in once. I know you're all probably shouting at the screen saying, Miss Hay, we know it goes in once. So we go once and then we know that there's 4 left over. Okay, so 4 are left over. We pop that down here as our remainder and we now are looking at the number 46. So how many times does 5 go into 46? Well, it goes 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45, and you have 1 left over. Okay, 1 left over. We then go into our units and we look at 5. How many times does 5 go into 15? Well, we know it goes in 3 times. So our answer at the very, very end is 193. Okay, 193. Now, I told you that this was a lot easier than you probably thought it was going to be. So I am going to see if you can work one out at home. Hopefully this works where you can just touch the screen. If not, we will come up with a different thing for you. So we have a poll. Formal division. Can you do this at home? 984 divided by 6. Pop this on pause and see if you can answer this. It'll come up with the right answer if you have got it right. Do 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 do. Okay, so you will have done that there, and I am assuming that most of you will have got the right answer. Love heart, let me know if you find that difficult. So what I'd like you to do just now, as we do in class, this is nothing new, tell me how you feel about formal division. Do we feel like it's the party? Do we feel a little bit, need a bit more practice? Or are we really, really struggling? Let me know. Okay, so that is a wrap for today. And let me know if you're finding anything difficult between 8:45 and 9:45. Not before, not after. See you on the flip side, P6.